this is the best interview we're going to do all year. The coolest interview, my favorite of all time, maybe, here on the Frank Beckmann Show. I always get that question, what's your favorite interview ever? This now takes it. We are joined in studio by Anna Richardson, who is Global Communications and Public Affairs Manager at YouTube Google, with the newest, hottest tech product for all you geeks, including me out there. And I'm stealing the one I'm wearing, the Google Glass. How are you? Good to see you, Anna.
I'm wonderful. Good to see you too. Thank
and
you.
You brought along Nava. Navi. Yeah. Navi, how do you say your last name again?
Ganantial.
Ganantial, just like financial. And the two of you brought you're in town, first of all, to have a media demonstration of Google Glass and start to spread the word about this at MoCAD, right?
Exactly. Media and anyone else who wants to come. So we are going to have a small gathering for some press tomorrow morning, but then all day Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 6. We'll be at MoCAD, and we'll have lots of glass devices around, all of our glass guides. Navi is one of those. They're really people very educated in the technology, can tell you how glass works, and they're going to be doing demonstrations. We'll have local food and beverages, so we want everybody in the area to come down and try glass.
Well, you've given me a brief tutorial, and I knew I was sold going in.
you asked for it before we even showed it to you.
You may not get these off my head. This is the coolest thing in the world. You basically have a computer in front of your eye. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. That's what it is.
That is basically it. It's interesting to see your reaction because that's what we've really found. People have a lot of misconceptions about glass before they see it, before they try it on, but that's one of the reasons we're here in Detroit because we know that when people try it, I mean, you were clapping a few minutes ago. You know, people are really excited about it once they see it because the fact is you are wearing this glasses-like frame, very simple, lightweight. It's just it weighs as much as a pair of glasses. And has a small computer screen attached to the right, above the right eye, but out of the way. So it's not in the line of sight. We can make eye contact. It's not distracting. And it allows you to access everything you kind of love about your smartphone or your tablet, your email. You can text. You can do video calls. You can search for navigations. And you can just search for all different answers to any question.
Okay, Glass. I just turned it on by saying, okay, Glass. And now I'm going to look at
instantaneous, like capture that moment of life. And that's what Glass allows you to do. And it actually uploads instantly to Google+. So if you were signed in on that device,
right.
It would upload private to Google+, and then you could share that later with friends and family, whoever you wanted.
This is too cool. So I'm going to tap the headset. You just put your finger on it, and then it shows the time and the words, okay, Glass. Google search, Detroit Emergency Manager. And it'll bring up the search engine. It's view website, right? So now I view the website, and it'll go. I mean, it goes to Yahoo, and on it goes. So you can go online and do searches. You use one finger on this little pad on the side of it to activate it, 2 fingers to scroll, and then you use your eyes to move the little cursor. You just tilt your head. I mean, the possibilities of this and the things you do with it are just so cool and endless.
Yeah, it really is. And with the Google search, it's really fun because I'm sure you've been in instances. You're talking about your family. You have at least one daughter we know of. I'm sure there are conversations that you have where you really want the answer to something to help you to like solve an argument or whatever. And
sure.
Usually everyone's kind of running to get their phones or whatever to try to Google whatever the answer is. With this, you can just quickly ask, okay, Glass, Google, and then who is whomever, or when was the Eiffel Tower built? How tall is the Eiffel Tower? Whatever questions you kind of want answers to, it can tell you. I mean, how many square foot in an acre, things like that, and it tells you very quickly. I mean, it takes about a second. So we talk about that a lot internally as kind of decreasing the time from intention to action, just getting you the information you want and then letting you go back to do the things that you really love to do, like being with your family.
Does it have Google Maps on it too?
It does, yeah. You can say, if you say, okay, Glass, get directions to, and you can direct yourself to Toronto, wherever you'd like to go.
And then it's gonna give me the same, like I get on my phone with the Google Maps.
Very same interface, exactly.
Oh my
goodness. You can do biking, walking, or driving. So if you actually stood up and started walking out and you were heading to Toronto, the arrow would move, and as you turned around the building, the arrow would move and kind of readjust you to help you get there.
How cool is that? And then it's gonna say, turn right in 450 feet, whatever.
Exactly. And then it's off in between. So say you were walking someplace, it's not on all the time. It turns off until you get to the next point where you need to make a decision, either left or right or continue. And so it's not, again, we really try for this not to be distracting. It is hands-free. We want you to get back to doing the things that you love. And we feel like it's kind of counterintuitive, but by bringing this technology closer and making it super fast, it's easier for you to continue doing those other things.
Navi, you teach people how to use these, right?
Yes, I do.
That's your job. So what's the learning curve on it?
It's actually been incredible because whether they've been like 18-year-old like tech nerds and like very excited to, I've had 64-year-old like older women who just want to use it while they're gardening so that their phone doesn't get dirty. And it takes like a few minutes for them to get the interactions, but once they do, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And most of the time also they're like, if I just spend a few more, hours with it or whatnot, it should be fine.
Well, you yourself, I mean, you got it very quickly. I said I was impressed how intuitively you kind of knew to put two fingers on the touchpad and view the web page.
Well, I'm a geek. I mean, I'm just, your techno nerd who's got to have the newest thing. I want one of these. I mean, can I just keep this one?
Well,
we're going to get you a brand new one.
Yeah, we're going to give you your very own,
okay.
and we will get you all set up. And yeah, it sounds like you'd be a great Glass Explorer, and that's
what you're doing right now, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Yeah, the Glass Explorer program is really important to us because this is a very new technology. There isn't something that really looks like it out there, and for a lot of people that's kind of uncomfortable because even just in the elevator we had 3 people stop and say, oh, what is that? And everyone was actually very excited and positive about it, and that's what we normally see, but there are only so many of us on the team at Glass, and so we feel like if we can get it out in the hands and on the faces literally of thousands of people, it's just going to give us a much better product when we're ready to really launch it to consumers, which will happen next year. So we've started out with there are about 10,000 devices out in the world right now. We did a competition across
10,001. 10,001.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you back out of this, Anna.
No, yours is included.
Okay,
10,000. We'll have to change our stats today. And we asked them on Google Plus and Twitter, what would you do if you had Glass? So people applied, application of 140 characters or whatever, with hashtag if I had Glass. We had people, we have a beekeeper in upstate New York, the conductor of the Cornell Orchestra. We have a DJ who's DJ'd for Jay-Z and Rihanna and all these folks. We have a beer judge in San Francisco, women who are gardening, all different people from all walks of life.
Right, which is the object, because
Exactly.
it's everyday experience with this. There's not just one standard user for computers, for smartphones, or for this.
Exactly, and we wanted to make sure, we want the product to be really great and really useful first and foremost, and so having all these different people use it in all these different situations is going to help us. We're getting feedback from them continuously, and we're slowly growing that program. So just early this week, we invited those Explore base to invite 3 friends. A few weeks back, we invited them to initially invite 1 friend. So we're kind of growing on that base that we've already created. We feel like that's a really good way to start a community around Glass and have people, you're out by yourself wearing Glass. It could be slightly lonely, but you're there with a couple of friends and everyone has Glass. You're able to share things very quickly and staying connected with each other, and so we're really excited about that.
It's just so cool. And you were telling me this technology has come so far just within the couple of years that Google has been developing the Glass.
Exactly. We have some prototypes from very early days, about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and they're essentially a pair of kind of rubber goggles that have an Android battery on one side and kind of the brain of the Android phone on the other, taped with a not very small prism. Right now the prism is the glass piece that you look through, and that projects the screen.
How big is it? It's very tiny, but what do you
half an
figure?
Inch probably cube.
Yeah.
I mean, it is quite small, and when you have it on, it's out of your line of sight, so it really isn't. You kind of forget. And
Exactly, you get used to it very quickly.
Very quickly, right. So we have these very big things, and actually we have this wonderful designer on our team, and she's been in charge of making Glass look the way it is. She's Swedish, and she came in and she saw these engineers, and everyone was wearing these huge goggles, and they kind of told her, they're like, your challenge is to make this beautiful and simple.
Yeah.
And so that's what she's basically done, and so we're really excited to get these people here in Detroit.
This is gonna take off. I'm telling you. I don't think you're going to be able to keep them in stock when you sell them to the public next year.
That's a good problem.
Now, Navi, let's talk a little bit about the technology involved here. Give me some details on the capability of the computer chip. It's a 5 megapixel camera right now.
Yes,
I'm sure that's going to go to 10, 13 before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, improvements. This is again our first prototype that's out there on to our Explorers. And so by consumer launch, who knows where it's really going to grow. But yeah, like you're able to take photos, you take video, there is storage locally on the device. So even if you aren't connected to Wi-Fi, or if you don't have any data capabilities, you're still going to be able to go on a hike with your family, take all the photos that you want, take all the video, and then quickly download those, similar how you would any normal camera, because there's a micro USB on there.
Could you set up a local hotspot on your mobile device?
On your mobile device, yes.
And then tie in that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Bingo.
Depends on where you're hiking, I guess.
Yeah,
If you're really, really up in the mountains, maybe it won't work. But yes,
yeah.
you definitely can do that.
So it does everything that a tablet or your mobile phone would do, or actually your laptop, your personal computer.
Exactly. I mean, we do talk about glass being built for micro interactions, so it's not. I mean, if I'm in communications, if I'm going to write a very lengthy press release or document, I'm not going to do it on. I'm not going to verbally speak it on glass.
Right.
Although I could, but it would be definitely take longer for me to do that than just type it on my laptop. But it's the same way for your phone. I probably wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it on my phone either. You know, you like different devices for different things, and for glass, it really is about getting information quickly, responding to a text very quickly, tapping once, speaking your reply, and it sends automatically. So if I'm trying to, my husband's back in San Francisco now, I can text him really quickly while I'm here in Detroit, and it allows me to kind of save time to actually enjoy the time that I'm still here in the city.
It's just too cool. And next year it's going to be out. Do you have a price point yet?
We don't. Right now, the price for the Explorer Edition is $1,500, but we do realize that is, steep. We want this to be a very sought-after device and really worth whatever the price is.
Will it be upgradable? Will there be automatic upgrades like you have with your phone?
So that we already do that, yes. Every month we have a software update.
Really?
So, yes, and each month we are adding new things. So just on Monday we launched that music is coming to glass. So we announced that.
You got little earbuds.
And we have stereo earbuds now that you can connect to the micro USB
This
port.
is too good.
And you can stream music, you can listen to your library from the cloud, and we actually added that, so when you say OK Glass, it brings a menu of all the different things you can do, take a picture, send an email, and we've added listen to, so you can listen to and then just say whatever artist you love or a song that you like, and it'll start playing that song.
The only drawback that's been suggested is the privacy concerns of people having their picture taken, which I've got to tell you, personally, I don't understand. There are drones flying in the sky. We have cameras on every corner. You can take a picture or a movie anywhere with your mobile phone these days, and you have people freaking out because you got these glasses on, these Google glasses, which might take a picture. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, we understand that there are definitely concerns because it is so new, and it's kind of what I said before. That's one of the reasons we're here, because when people try it, those concerns are kind of generally, as you just described, put aside because they really understand that it's very similar to your smartphone. But we do have this, what we call notification, which when you took the picture, you said, OK, Glass, take a picture. I knew you were taking a picture of me. It's hard to not know if you're hearing you. The other thing we have is we do have a small camera button on top of Glass, and when you click it, you're basically taking like an old school like photo. You're pushing down as you would a camera if you had a camera up to your face. And those we call the notification or gestures that allow everyone around you to see that you're taking a photo. In a lot of ways, we found, I mean, this would be a very bad kind of surveillance device. People obviously see you're wearing it. It's not meant to take long periods of video.
Right.
It's just a short burst of something. You're at a game.
How many seconds will it go on video?
Default, it's just for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You can extend if you want, but the battery is also not built for long. Because this is not a life blogging device. It's not meant to be used that way. So we won't expand the video or the battery capacity so that it can be like broadcast television quality picture. Right. Yeah, because that's really not what Glass is about. But we do want to make it clear also what your listeners can't see, but when you say OK Glass, the screen lights up and it's a little pink hue, and I can see it even at a distance sitting across from the table from you. People around you can see it. So between the voice commands, the tapping on the touchpad, and the fact the screen lights up, we think it's pretty clear that the device is in use. So we're hoping that when other people, as more and more people see that, they'll feel the same way, that's not as much of a concern.
And there's a new app called Blue you were telling me about.
Yes.
I want to pass this along to everybody because I'm going to be able to go to Comerica Park, watch the Tigers play, and go to this app Blue, and it'll let me get all the stats on the player who's batting, pitching, whoever, and I can also get pitch speed and anything else.
Exactly. So what we're seeing is very similar to the smartphone. As those were developed, now they're tens of thousands of apps that you can download on your smartphone. And people love to curate those and kind of get what they want on it. And for Glass, it's very similar. We call it Glassware. And right now, there are about 9 official partners. So already on Glass, when you get your device, you'll have Facebook, Path, Twitter, New York Times, CNN, these different applications or glassware that you can use. And Blue is one of those that has been developed outside of Google, which is what we really hope that these developers, about 2,000 developers are in that pool of folks with Glass. And Blue is one of them that's focused on sports, and it's especially the implications for baseball are huge. You can go to a game through geolocation and GPS. It knows you're there. Can tell you stats on all the players as they get to bat and the speed of the pitch and all that.
That's the greatest thing since indoor plumbing. I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. I cannot wait. I mean, this is just, I'm just blown away.
Well, thank you so much.
It's even better than what you display online in the demos. I mean, it's just it's mind blowing what this thing does.
Well, that is why we're here in Detroit, and we're going to continue to go to other cities throughout 2014. Even through our consumer launch, because we feel it's so important. We were in Durham last month, Detroit this month, and we'll kind of announce each city a week before we go. So
okay. Navi, when's my device coming?
Soon.
Come on, let's commit.
Well, you want it by the end of the month so you can get your stereo earbuds, and we will sort that out for you.
Anna Richardson here from Google and Navi Ganancho. Great to meet you both. Have a great stay in town.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm sorry I got to give these back to you. I was just heartbroken. I love these.
You'll get more.
And you know what? Mike Wendland, PC Mike, who's the biggest tech guy in town, is going to be so jealous I got something before he does.
We have to show him this video that you just captured.
I will send him this video, okay? Watch this. Okay, Glass. Take picture. Beautiful. That's a picture of Terry videoing this, and that's just for you, PC Mike. We're going to send it to you. Thanks, you guys. Great to meet you.